The Incredulity of Saint Thomas, Caravaggio. The Incredulity of Saint Thomas is a painting of the subject of the same name by the Italian Baroque master Caravaggio. It is housed in the Sanssouci Picture Gallery, now a museum in Potsdam, Germany. Before I analyze this masterwork, I'd like to discuss Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio, its creator. I am not going to bore you with irrelevant details like his birthplace or who raised him. I'd like to concentrate on his eccentric personality and his works. First of all, Caravaggio has a quite rebellious, vagabond, and adventurous spirit. He gets himself into a lot of trouble and has a lot of fights. Thanks to the help of his friend, he has a narrow escape from going to jail so many times. He can't settle down somewhere because of his rebellious character. Therefore, he moves throughout Italy numerous times throughout his life. As he gets older and encounters difficulties in his career, he becomes more restless and unstable. In my opinion, his chaotic and difficult life is the source of his painting's remarkable realism, dynamism, and gloom. Early in his career, Caravaggio's style emerged in Rome, with human figures painted with striking realism dominating the foreground of the painting. Ordinary people, the poor whose bodies are distorted from forced work, prostitutes, their garments, facial emotions, and bodies are portrayed in all their realism in his paintings, without idolizing them. As the artist's life passes, the melancholic atmosphere that surrounds these paintings will become more intense. If I manage to show you the Caravaggio from my perspective, I would like to mention my favorite Caravaggio painting, The Incredulity of Saint Thomas. In his painting of Saint Thomas and the three disciples look at Jesus with curiosity, and one of them sticks a finger into the wound in his chest. Despite the fact that the painting is done in dark tones, it has a rich and gentle harmony. But what strikes out is the reality of the scene rather than the colors themselves. Many sacred scenes were created and many saints were painted before Caravaggio. However, no one has painted the disciples and Jesus like this before. The disciples have frequently been shown with images of wise men over the centuries, and it's hard to discuss sanctity and splendor in this painting. People were used to seeing dignified disciples dressed in gorgeous plated garments. However, the one in Caravaggio's painting are more reminiscent of ordinary workers with their wrinkled forehead and worn faces. But as Caravaggio himself would reply, they are old laborers, ordinary people. When this picture was shown to believers at the time, they must have felt horrible and enraged, because this painting offends them and is even insulting to them. However, as I mentioned, Caravaggio has a difficult and unstable life that it can be assumed that angels flying in the holy sky were not the real sanctity for him. As I observed, he sees his raw and realistic style as far more sacrosanct than the other heavenly style paintings, which is one of the main reasons I love this painting. The other main reason why I love the incredulity of Saint Thomas is the story behind it. This is a chapter from the Bible that criticized skepticism. Now, Thomas, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails are, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them, and said, "Peace with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hands and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God." Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Right now, we read in the chapter that Thomas said he won't believe it unless he sees proof of Christ's resurrection. While there is evidence that Christ has been risen, believing something only because there is evidence does not make it faith. Believe without evidence. Believe without evidence. Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. This story, and therefore the painting illustrating this story, is promoting faith. It is trying to justify believing something you can prove or nor disprove. Thought we consider belief without evidence to be irrational. Nowadays it is considered honorable here. Hebrews tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. By faith, we can believe in God who is unseen, yet true. Without faith, we won't be able to see God's glory, and without faith, we won't be able to please Him. Thank you for watching my video.